July 2, 1937, 8:43 in the morning. An airplane is somewhere over the vast Pacific Ocean. A female pilot sends her final haunting radio message. We are on line 157,337. We will respond to your message, and then complete silence. Amelia Earhart and her navigator, Fred Noonan, were never seen or heard from again. Nearly a century has passed, and they are still missing. This is the story of one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. Earhart and Noonan were just one stop away from completing their incredible 25,000-mile flight around the world. Their final refueling point was Howland Island, a tiny speck of land, just 2 miles long, lost in the middle of the Pacific. But the weather was bad, and visibility was poor. Radio communication with the Coast Guard ship waiting for them was choppy and almost unintelligible. Messages were cut off, coordinates were a blur. In one of her last broadcasts, Amelia's voice crackled through the static. "We're running low on fuel," and then, nothing. The Coast Guard launched a massive search, scouring the area around Howland Island. They found no wreckage, no debris, no sign of the plane. 18 months later, Amelia Earhart was officially declared dead. But what really happened to her? There are 3 main theories, and each one is more chilling than the last. Theory 1 is the most straightforward. They simply crashed into the ocean. They ran out of fuel, couldn't find the tiny island in the poor visibility, and the plane sank into the immense depths of the Pacific. A simple, tragic, and logical explanation, but for many, it's too simple. Theory 2 suggests they made an emergency landing on another island. Earhart's last known flight path put her on a line that led directly to Gardner Island, now called Nikumaroro, a deserted coral atoll about 350 miles south of Howland. Could they have landed there and survived for a while as castaways? A week after the disappearance, Navy planes reported seeing recent signs of settlement on the island. But nobody had lived there for 45 years, so who made those signs? In 1940, bones were recovered from the island, and recent analysis suggests they very likely belonged to Earhart. Expeditions have even found fragments of a cosmetic jar, possibly from her freckle cream. Is this proof or just a strange coincidence? The third and darkest theory is that they were captured by the Japanese. This theory claims Earhart and Noonan were forced to land in the Japanese-controlled Marshall Islands. Accused of being spies, they were arrested, taken to Saipan, and eventually executed. For decades, locals on Saipan have told stories of 2 white people who came from the sky, one of whom was an American female pilot buried in an unmarked grave. A 1960 newspaper even quoted a former Army sergeant who claimed to have seen these graves in 1944. Is it a fact, or a wild conspiracy theory? 3 theories, none proven, none completely disproven. Almost a century has passed, and Amelia Earhart is still missing somewhere in the sky, somewhere at the bottom of the ocean, somewhere on a deserted island, or in a forgotten grave on Saipan. The legend of the woman who vanished into the sky lives on, and the mystery continues. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this.